I just did a community post, but I don't see it getting that many views or any interaction. But again, let's be fair, my YouTube videos don't really get that much interaction in the first place. They're usually like 2 dislikes to 1 like. Who cares? But that said, for those that are interested or whatnot, I'm currently in the process of testing out my current rig. I've yet to get all the components necessary to get it up and running, but I did steal other components so I can actually test everything before I spend more money on this computer. So I had to steal the power supply and RAM from my main rig. I had to steal the NVMe drive from my file server computer to actually get this thing up and running. So as it stands right now, the only issue I want to mention is Wi-Fi dropout. Granted, I'm going to have this thing hardlined. The only reason why I had this thing Wi-Fi originally was because I didn't feel like digging out the Ethernet cable. So other than that Wi-Fi dropout I had playing Sea of Thieves, this computer's been running great. And one thing I can definitely say for certain is that if you do play Sea of Thieves and you're on an AMD system, if you go to those forts, you'll more than likely encounter severe shuddering and stuttering and just overall poor performance. With my Nvidia card, I still can't maintain 100 FPS in the forts, but I maintain a good 60 to 80, if not more, and it's near constant smooth. I don't have any of the weird stutterings like I do with my RTX 6600 XT. My Nvidia card, again, which is an RX 3070, it plays Sea of Thieves completely fine, even if the frame rate goes below 100 FPS. If I'm actually out in the open ocean and whatnot, I'm cranking around 250. Again, that's in the open ocean, but still, that is far superior to my AMD system. So again, other than the Wi-Fi dropout, this computer's been working great. I'm very happy with it. Again, I'm just hoping it's just a Wi-Fi issue and not a actual NIC issue. I don't think it is, but I'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to run this thing like this for like a week before I purchase any other components. So with that said, right now what I'm doing is I'm actually using an old-ish NVIDIA tech demo to burn in the 3070. And it's this tech demo right here that I'm actually utilizing. Because even though it's a fairly old tech demo meant for GTX cards, I'm only getting like 80, 90 FPS. And the only time I'm getting 100 is when it's just showing a lantern. For an oldish tech demo, it actually really pushes the 3070, which I'm very impressed with. Now I could use the ray tracing tech demos, but their marbles is hard to get, and I hate Star Wars. And I'd rather look at something like this that's actually nice to look at. So I'm just going to let this run for, I don't know, until I go to bed, and we're going to see if my computer reboots. It theoretically should, because one of the issues I was having with my older system, for those that are watching way back then, was I was having initialization issues, and also the card just outright dying on me. Again, I don't see that happening with this system, especially considering, like I said before, it's all Intel and Nvidia. But if the computer shuts up now, I'm going to be able to just cut my losses. I don't want it to, because I already spent an asinine amount of money on this thing. But again. So with that said, I'm going to just let this run for a while. But before I actually end this video, I do want to show where I'm currently at with Mikamo for the 5 people that care. I got the magnets in for the upper and lower sections. I added in all the wooden bracing so the 2 halves could actually properly meet up with each other. I also made the little, I don't know what this is actually, I don't actually know what to call this piece right here. But you can see some of the rare magnets right here. There's some over there. There's a nice little plate right here and here. So there's magnets up the wazoo on this one. There's a lot more magnets on this one because the magnets are fairly thin. They are rare earth, but since they're so thin, they're not as strong as like the other types I usually get. But it also allows me to make it so everything's a little more closer buttered up to each other and whatnot. Especially towards the back right here. It almost makes a perfect seam. Now, unfortunately, there really isn't anything I can do about it because you still will be able to see the seam, but I tried my best. The only thing I gotta do now is just gotta cut these little pieces off here and figure out if I need to actually add some more marker to underneath here and whatnot, and just figure out where I need to add marker here and there and whatnot. But when it comes to actually me putting Mikumo together, I won't be doing anything with her for about a week or so, like I said, because I am stress testing my computer. I think the only thing I'm probably going to end up doing is putting a brace here and a brace here. That way, so if I actually end up grabbing from here, that way so I can pull her off, because I still have to figure out exactly how the easiest way to grab her and whatnot to remove the upper and lower sections. If I end up having to grab here, which might be the case, who knows. I want to make sure that her tits ain't going to collapse, especially considering I'm going to have to do add a little bracer here too. So I will still be doing a little bit of work on her, but I won't actually be like building her up and whatnot, because again, I'm testing my current computer or my new computer. So with that said, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Also, for those that are wondering what I'm going to do with my current main rig when I actually do make the final conversion over, I'm actually going to give my current rig to my father. I'm going to just remove the video card, and he'll just use the Ryzen 5 5600G because it's an APU and he only streams video. So he has no need for a GPU, and I don't really trust that GPU other than just with me because, well, that GPU is kind of a joke.